Yes, my husband Terry Hall is running for supervisor, and he is officially dropping out. His work is increasing, and so he's just not going to have the time to put forth in the effort. So.
Okay. Thank you. Some of you already touched on this question, but it's being asked, so I will ask you to briefly go through it. Is why did you make the decision to run for office? And it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of family concentration and conversation. So why did you make the decision? We'll start with you, Tim.
Well, I didn't like what was going on in the township. Plain and simple. I didn't like the change in ambulance. I didn't like where our township would be asked questions and they wouldn't give you straight answers, or they would give ambiguous answers, or sometimes they just plain lied to us. That's why I'm running. Tim?
I guess the biggest reason I'm running is I feel that aside from the ambulance, there's a lot more issues going on day to day, all year long, that the board has to take into consideration. And I want to see everybody in Keeler Township get a fair shake.
And likewise, my initial reason for running was, I was concerned about the lack of experience. And that was my initial reason. But again, the ambulance issue aside, but as I started, gathering the facts and the figures that are behind the scenes, not the stories that are circulating, not the rumors, and just started to do some real simple math. I don't want to throw too many numbers at people because last week as I was throwing numbers, I saw people's eyes glaze over, but this is pretty simple. There's a lot of allegations that the board was ignoring the wishes of the majority of the community. And, I was scratching my head as I was looking at the number of people who actually voted and the number of people who are actually registered voters and property owners in the Keeler Township. And there's 1,540 registered voters. We had a record turnout. 42% came out for the election. There were 657 people actually voted. And we all know how close the vote was. With the exception of, Don, 30 votes, it was 4 votes, it was 7 votes. So, I mean, let's just, not split hairs here. And you see that, 51%, 49%. So it's 324 to 330 people were supporting the recall and supporting Sister Lake's ambulance. So you take the 22 or the 21% that supported the board and the rest of the people that didn't vote, that works up to 78%. That's who the board's representing. Their job and my job if elected is to watch out for the welfare of the majority of the people in the township, not just the majority of people who show up and use their democratic right to voice their opinion. It's not a popularity contest when it comes to the health, safety, and welfare of the people and the fiscal responsibility of the people. It's the board's, it's our, not authority, but we're supposed to make these tough decisions for the voters. And it's not easy to sometimes make a decision knowing that there's going to be a reaction like that. Our board fully knew that there was a possibility of a recall. If I'm faced with that kind of a decision, I'll make the same decision knowing that there could be a recall when I know in my heart it's the right thing to do and it's the fiscally responsible thing to do. That's why I'm running.
Again, I'm running. I want to see the community come back together again. Again, there's a lot of dissension and stuff going on out there, and I would love to see work together between the services and the community and the board and get everybody involved and really listen to the people. I feel like a lot of people don't feel that they were listened to, and that's one thing I would like to do is just to come on board and to listen to the heart of the people and make myself available to do that. I also felt that Sister Lake's area needed a representative, and so that's why I chose to run as well. The first and foremost thing that's important in the community is the public health, safety, and welfare. And that's the goal. And I think everyone has that goal. It's just a matter of getting everyone together on the same page or close to the same page. Not everyone's going to get what they want, but try and pull us together and see what we can do to work together. And who knows what that's going to look like, but I'd love to be a part of that, and then there's a lot of other issues that are out there as well. I'd love to improve communication between the board and the people. I feel like that's very lacking, so I would like to be able to do that too. Just to listen to the heart of the people and again, to just offer my services. Thank you.
I'm going to stand up because I don't want to hit Rich in the head, and I happen to talk with my hands, so. The reason I decided to run was after the recall, I heard nothing. Nobody said they were going to run. Nobody took an initiative to get things out there to let people know what was going on. So I was sitting at home and I says, I'm worried about the township. I'm worried about the direction it's going. And I did voice my opinion a lot, and I shouldn't do that unless I'm going to try to do something about it myself. So I decided to run. And then it started, a few other people started to run and decided to put their names in the hat. Normally I'm a Republican. I ran as county commissioner under the Republican Party. I lost to Don, not by too many votes. But the reason I didn't go talk to the Republican Party this time was because of that election with Don, and I know his wife was the chairman of the Republican Party. I wasn't sure I was going to get a fair shake. So I ran it, but I fell with it. I'm a little upset with the Southern Township Board. I've got a letter that was sent out by the township clerk that I don't think was fair to the rest of the people running on affiliated. I could read the letter, or I can leave it for you to read, but it's just plain as a fair. I have a problem tonight, and I did it to Lions Club, with the Southern Township Board actually going through the question. I would go to raise your question, your hand out there and ask me a question. But I have a problem with it going through the Southern Township Board. They're screening the questions before you go. I don't think that's right. I think they should stay out of it. They can vote for whoever they want to. They can put whatever signs in the yard they want to put in the yard. I don't have a problem with that at all. But this letter was sent out, and I'm actually going to read it. I'm going to take the time to read it. I am a member of the County Republican Party. We have selected residents of Keeler Township along with being members of the Republican Party as candidates for the positions that are open for the November 8th special election. I ask that you consider these three names for your choice to bring Keeler Township back to a full board, and will help move Keeler Township in the right direction. I can't speak for the other candidates that have submitted their names to run for supervisor and trustees. I have been told that some are running for positions with one agenda in mind and not for the idea of moving Keeler Township forward. You can mark the straight party ticket, and that will cast a vote for Hutchinson, Landis, and Fleschauer. You don't even have to mark them on an individual basis, so you get the vote by the straight party ticket voting on the Republican Party. Now, I don't know about the rest of the unaffiliated candidates here, but that upset me. That a running or sitting township member would send something like that out to a select few. I didn't get one, a few other people didn't get one. I think they knew how they felt. But I don't think that's right. I think it should be bipartisan, and you should take everybody here on their merit. I'm asking that you don't vote Republican. I'm asking that you don't just, you can vote for any one of the Republicans that you want to, but I'm asking that you don't just mark the Republican box on it, and you go down through the list, and you pick the candidates that you want. Again, my reason for doing this was because of after the recall, it didn't sound like the people got their voice. Two letters were sent out after the board made their decision on the ambulance service. I'm not Sister Lake's ambulance service. I know all the guys that work here at Keeler. I don't have a thing against anyone. I have nothing to gain, no monetary thing to gain from Sister Lake's ambulance or for Coloma Pine ambulance. But I did research on it, and I found some disturbing things with Coloma Township ambulance, Coloma Pine ambulance. And I personally, in my opinion, I would rather have a caring, concerned paramedic come to my house and treat me and my family and my friends or anything like that than somebody that can't even find their own way to your house. And that's why I'm running.
Tough to follow that one. I didn't receive one of those letters. That's not very nice. But the big picture thing is, the way the system's set up is, for those of us that aren't affiliated with the Republican Party in any manner here, I didn't know anything about how to approach them. I'm sure most of you have gathered that me being a veteran, I'm a pretty staunch Republican, but I accepted what the county told me to do, and I have to run as a non-party affiliated, and that's what I got to do. So it's on me to impress upon you that I am the right choice for township supervisor. And to answer the question, everybody's happy with that. I was approached by some of our community leaders and quite a few of my neighbors about bringing my 25 plus years of private sector experience to the township board, as well as my 15 plus years of board leadership in a variety of boards in my life. So, the thing I heard over and over again is what everybody was looking for is new faces, and not the same old people on the board. And I said this last week, I don't need this position. I don't need to validate who I am. I don't need a title to make myself sleep well at night. But I want this position. I want to make an impact on our community. And quite frankly, I want to bring the community back together, because it's just been ridiculous with this whole thing. So that's why I ran, and I want to copy that letter.
I gave us a lot of thought following the recall election. After 45 years of practicing law, I finally got myself retired. Served on this board for 15 years. I sense a lot of anger and hostility. Mr. Pitcher certainly pitches it out to us this evening. He's holding a grudge that goes back 50, 55 years. I don't have any grudges with anybody. I don't have any animus. I don't have the same animus that Mr. True evidences. I'm not an angry person. I never have been in my life. And I think that's important, because we have to remember that the Keeler Township Board is a legislative body. Nothing gets done unless there is consensus achieved. And the worst thing that can possibly happen is to have angry people on the township board. We've seen this down in Niles, we've seen it up in Hartford, we've seen it over in Berrien County, all the way around us. Nothing useful is accomplished when you have a collection of angry persons. I felt in my heart that I can best serve the people by engendering and leading and formulating and acquiring a consensus to advance the purposes, all the purposes of our community. That's why I'm running for this office, and I ask for your vote.
My decision to run for office was made prior to all this. Many years ago, I talked to a few of the township board members, know that some of them were maybe possibly thinking of not running again in the future. So I took that as an opportunity for myself to run in the upcoming 2012 election. So with all the dealings that have been in Keeler Township, my decision was based, move that up for another year. I think there's Blackman here. There's a lot of animosity here. It has to go away. That is going to be one of my top goals, is to stop all this animosity. But some of the stuff I have to say later on, I know I'll make more people more mad at me, but you have to remember, I'm one of your firefighters. I run with the rescue team here in Keeler, and I've seen the difference. Sister Lakes provides a great service, no disagreeing. But I've seen what Pride Care, Coloma, whatever you want to call it, do the same. And I've seen caring, more compassion, out of those people who are not supposedly our township residents than I have from some of our township residents that are running on that ambulance crew. So that's why I made my decision to run for township supervisor.